Give a little love, give a little more this time. Give a little love, and you give it up, oh, I feel fine. Give a little love, it'll come back if you just try. It'll feel right. Give a little love.
And it's Pet Pals TV. I'm Paul, Patty. A lot of times this would be the point where I'd say, and, Louie's here. He'd be with us on the couch or running around in his yard.
Backyard,
This is Louie's backyard. It's a bittersweet edition of Pet Pals TV because Louie isn't going to be with us anymore.
Louie passed a few days ago. Had been in decline for about a year. Various ailments, getting old, 9 years, and which is long for that breed, Bernese Mountain Dog. And then diagnosed with lymphoma, cancer, several masses. And the last few weeks, it was a quick decline. So he was assisted. It was, you know what? It's better to be a day early than a day late. And I didn't want him to be in any pain. So, but the outpouring has been incredible, as you can see.
There's some evidence just before we started this session that we're doing right now. This was just delivered. And there's been a lot of that. And there's been a lot of response. And so we wanted to do an episode of the show just to look back and just as a tribute to Louie, because he's so identified not only with you, but with this entire show.
He is. I call him the people's dog. He's your dog. He loved he really did love everybody.
That's a dog that loved people.
He loved everybody. And he loved to be on TV too. We started the show in 2009, and the folks at Pet Pals TV came to me, those in charge, and said, would you like to do a show because you have a great dog?
Not because they necessarily wanted you, right?
They wanted Louie.
They wanted Louie, right.
So in 2009, we kind of explained what my background was and why Louie was a part of the show. And that was 5 years ago. So let's take you back in time, and here's Louie's first appearance on TV. Hi, I'm Patty Spittler, and this is Louie, and you're watching Pet Pals TV. This is my dog. This is the best male ever. This is Louie. He's a Bernese Mountain Dog, and I've had him now for 3 years. He's so striking. I think he has a good soul, but he's so attractive that draws people over to him, but then they stay because he has such a kind heart and he's so generous. I quit work after 32 years in broadcasting. I have a disease which is progressive and permanent. It's called Meniere's disease. It's an inflammation, water in the inner ear, and it affects my balance as well. So work became difficult at best, and rather than embarrass myself further, I decided to quit. And then when I quit, I got very depressed. That was my life. So I wouldn't leave the house. I was on antidepressants, going to therapists. That's not moving forward. So I thought, what do I really want? When I was a kid, my dad had a dog. And I thought, what made me happy when I was a kid? What will get me out in life again? I thought, I want a dog. When I take my hearing aid out, I can't hear anything. He hears for me. If the phone rings, he will let me know. His ears prick up. I read his signals as to what he's giving me. We go for a walk. He lets me know there's someone behind me because I can see him turn around. Someone comes to the door. Ooh, he sounds so vicious. So not only does he help me hear what's going on in my surroundings, but he got me back into life. He got me back into the flow of living again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good boy.
He saved my life. Right? Come here. Tell me about it. Come here. He gave me a reason to live. I'm so lucky. I am so blessed. I know how lucky I am. And I'm in love with life and my animals.
More of our legacy from Louie
coming up on Pet Pals TV.
Plan your escape with Classic Escapes. Classic Escapes excels at creating personalized itineraries for you and your family. We take you off the beaten track to exciting locations around the world. Call us today, 800-627-1244. Classic Escapes. taking pride in creating the perfect travel package for you. Call 800-627-1244 or visit our website. Classic Escapes, nature and cultural journeys for the discerning traveler.
Wild thing, you make my heart sing. You make everything groovy. Wild thing.
Bring your wild things to see ours at the Indianapolis Zoo.
Wild thing, I think I love you.
Hello, Dad? It's been a long time.
Really sorry about that. I couldn't hear you over the phone, so I stopped using it.
How are you able to call me now?
It's this new phone.
Caption telephone service uses voice recognition technology to show captions of everything your caller says.
Before CapTel, I missed too much, including you.
Learn more at capteloffer.com.
There are thousands of dogs and cats housed in shelters that need your help. Local shelter professionals and volunteers give their heart and soul to help unwanted animals and deserve your support. Americans give millions every year to national animal organizations, but unless you give to your local shelter, you can't be sure that money will make it to the pets that need it most. Adopt, volunteer, and give to your local animal shelter. To find your local shelter, go to humaneforpets.org.
Back on Pet Pals TV and our special tribute to Louie, but not just Louie. First of all, I need to introduce you to Steve Schweitzer, who is our chief photographer here at Pet Pals TV.
Well, thank you.
Normally, Steve's on the other side of the lens here, but not only do Louie and Patty go back a few years, you and Louie and Patty and your dog go back a few years too.
All the way till when Louie was a little pup.
And here's the sad coincidence, you lost your dog too recently.
Yeah, same week. So she was 15 years old, and it was her time. We knew this was going to be the last summer. You're never ready, and we weren't ready when she passed. But same week. Yeah, they were a great team. They always looked forward to seeing each other, even in their older age. They didn't spend so much time once they got together, but if you said, let's go see Louie, you know, oh.
We were just there earlier, or they were together earlier this year at one of our tapings too, and we also have met Boo before on Pet Pals TV. Take us back in time to this story.
Well, we did, Boo started slowing down and her back hips were really bothering her, and we tried stem cell injection, which was brand new. There was only 1 or 2 doctors doing it in Indiana at the time. And as you'll see in the story, it really was miraculous in terms of the relief that she received from that. And it got us another good 4 years of pain-free activity. I used to go cross-country skiing with her and all kinds of outdoor things. So it was really miraculous.
Well, as we talk about, old age and dogs in this episode, let's go back in time and take a look at that story.
Today is June 7th in the year 2000. And this little puppy still doesn't have a name.
Malibu is her formal name, but everybody calls her Boo. As an absolutely adorable 6-week-old puppy, this white shepherd was picture perfect, canine joy and health. Age begins to take its toll.
You ready to go upstairs?
Now, 9 years old,
let's go upstairs.
Boo's having trouble running, walking,
come on,
even struggling getting out of her chair.
Oh.
Boo has severe arthritis in her hips and has not responded significantly to traditional anti-inflammatory treatment. But now, there's one more option for her owners to take. A revolutionary new stem cell regenerative treatment surgery. It won't be easy or cheap.
I'm a tightwad. I hate to part with any penny, but this is, this is our Christmas present to each other this year, and so we thought, let's do it. If our kids are out of the house, so she is our little girl now, and so we want the best for her.
The regenerative cells that we collect, they do several things. They release chemicals that help decrease inflammation. They send out chemicals to the body to bring healing cells into that area. And those stem cells do have the potential to regenerate damaged tissues.
And this is equally better because these aren't synthetic cells. These are cells from the patient back into the patient, just put in another area.
Correct. There's really no real side effects. It's the body's natural healing cells. There's no interactions.
No rejection.
No rejection.
Less than 48 hours after the initial surgery, the isolated stem cells are FedExed back to Dr. Earling, and under local anesthesia, he can then perform the injection operation. And these shots go directly to the trouble spots.
She's doing much better. I think she feels good. She's not whining and crying at night.
I was looking at that footage that I shot early on, and it's really dramatic. I had forgotten just how much pain she was in. So yeah, we already see a big shift, and it's it's supposed to take a little bit of time before it'll all settle down. But right away we saw a significant improvement. She is doing much better.
More of Louie's legacy.
That's coming up on Pet Pals TV.
Plan your escape with Classic Escapes. Classic Escapes excels at creating personalized itineraries for you and your family. We take you off the beaten track to exciting locations around the world. Call us today, 800-627-1244. Classic Escapes, taking pride in creating the perfect travel package for you. Call 800-627-1244 or visit our website. Classic Escapes, nature and cultural journeys for the discerning traveler.
Bring your wild things to see ours at the Indianapolis Zoo.
Wild thing, I think I love you.
Hello, Dad? It's been a long time.
Really sorry about that. I couldn't hear you over the phone, so I stopped using it.
How are you able to call me now?
It's this new phone.
Caption telephone service uses voice recognition technology to show captions of everything your caller says.
Before CapTel, I missed too much, including you.
Learn more at capteloffer.com.
I believe that home is where your pet is.
And that loving an animal means never giving up on them, never letting them go.
I believe that when you spay or neuter your pets, you help decrease the number of homeless animals.
Because every dog and cat deserves a place to call home.
I believe that I found my best friend at a shelter. And you can too.
We believe that together with Best Friends Animal Society,
we can bring about a time when there are no more homeless pets.
Visit ambassadors.bestfriends.org.
As you can see, he did not take a bad picture, much like you and I.
And he didn't need any makeup.
But he wasn't just a pretty face, though. That's the thing about Louie. I mean, he went to school.
Louie actually got certified, a therapy dog. And he has the certificate, he had the vest, I have the card, and I tell you what, he had the personality for it. Here is Louie being certified to become a therapy dog.
A lot of people want to have a dog that's a therapy dog, but it takes a lot, and not only takes a lot of time and practice, but it's also it takes a good, stable temperament for a dog to be a good therapy dog. Our test here includes 55 different categories, and the dog has to pass them all to certify as a therapy dog.
Okay, main thing is calm. You want to be the dog that's interested, but you want him to be calm and not aggressive in any way.
Absolutely. Very calm, very stable, very friendly, and overall the temperament of the dog has to be, like I said, stable, and also the owner has to be polite and friendly and stable. We cannot have the owner shouting or being cruel to the dog. Or
and not treat the dog during the test.
No,
either.
treats are not allowed. You cannot use use any correction collars, and you cannot use any treats. The dog has to respond just because he wants to please you.
And tell us some of the tests that you perform on a dog to see if they're good for a therapy candidate.
Yes, well, we're not going to go over all 55 aspects of this test, but what we're going to talk about, the dog should be able to accept a friendly stranger and allow a stranger not only pet the dog, but also hug the dog and restrain. A lot of times when dogs go to the hospital, old people, they would like to hug a dog, or if it's a child. So the dog has to be pretty much a bomb-proof personality to sit still and accept petting and hugging from strangers. Even
and also children, too.
Children and crowds. We'd like to see the dog reacting very calmly and not being scared. The dog should also accept clumsy and rough petting and hugging.
Strollers.
Strollers and wheelchairs, those things usually scare dogs. So if your dog is stable and can sit calmly through being petted by a person in a wheelchair, that's a very good thing.
Right. Opening an umbrella was another one.
Umbrella and baby, like you said, baby strollers and umbrellas.
And other animals, too. Should ignore other animals.
Absolutely. Part of the test is actually accepting a friendly dog, meeting and greeting a person with a friendly dog.
And I'm very happy to say that Louie passed his canine certification. He did receive his certificate, and I cried. I was a good mom.
Back on Pet Pals TV, we talked about how patient Louie was with humans and with other animals. I'm looking at you, Mabel. Perfectly suited for
His
this kind of for the work that he did too.
He had a job, and that job really, besides being on TV with us, and besides making people happy, was to go to places like hospitals or nursing homes, and you could just see people would light up because he was patient, and someone who hadn't spoken or looked at anybody for a while, and all of a sudden Louie comes into the room, and they move and they touch him and pet him. So let's go along with Louie as he makes a visit to a nursing home.
Look at this one, Arlene. Look at that. Look at him.
Every dog should have a job. And for my Louie, that job is working as a therapy dog. I thought you'd like to come along as we make some morning rounds at Greenwood Park South with some long-term elderly residents.
That's the dog right there.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. Some were so eager to see him, they came out of their rooms for a visit.
What is that?
Beautiful.
Oh, isn't he wonderful?
Beautiful.
His name is Louie.
A therapy dog.
Yes, he's a therapy dog. Some can't leave their rooms, but still wanted to see and touch him.
Louie. This is Dorothy.
Oh, that was good. He did that all by himself.
You get lonelier when you're older. You lose a lot of things when you're older. And when you get an animal, it brings a moment of joy that you can't describe. It doesn't necessarily make sense. It just feels good. And, dogs give the unconditional love right back. So you don't ever have to feel like you're putting him out, or a lot of residents feel like they're maybe a bother, or, and they never feel that way with the dog. They're just there to help them.
It's clear to see some of these residents found Louie to be a delightful treat to brighten their day.
Look at that. There you go.
Oh, look at that. Oh.
Louie, sit down. Wait a minute. Sit. Give him a shake. Give him a shake. For the staff and the residents, it was a great morning. And did Louie have a good time? I guess this picture is worth 1,000 words.
That's the big boy.
There's more of our special tribute to Louie that's coming up
on Pet Pals TV.
Plan your escape with Classic Escapes. Classic Escapes excels at creating personalized itineraries for you and your family. We take you off the beaten track to exciting locations around the world. Call us today, 800-627-1244. Classic Escapes, taking pride in creating the perfect travel package for you. Call 800-627-1244 or visit our website. Classic Escapes, nature and cultural journeys for the discerning traveler.
Wild thing, you make my heart sing. You make everything groovy. Wild thing.
Bring your wild things to see ours at the Indianapolis Zoo.
Wild thing, I think I love you.
Hello, Dad? It's been a long time.
Really sorry about that. I couldn't hear you over the phone, so I stopped using it.
How are you able to call me now?
It's this new phone.
Caption telephone service uses voice recognition technology to show captions of everything your caller says.
Before CapTel, I missed too much, including you.
Learn more at capteloffer.com.
There are thousands of dogs and cats housed in shelters that need your help. Local shelter professionals and volunteers give their heart and soul to help unwanted animals and deserve your support. Americans give millions every year to national animal organizations, but unless you give to your local shelter, you can't be sure that money will make it to the pets that need it most. Adopt, volunteer, and give to your local animal shelter. To find your local shelter, go to humaneforpets.org.
Back now on Pet Pals TV, this is our Louie Legacy show, a tribute to him, your dog as well as mine. And Dr. Amber Leisner joins us now. Dr. Amber was Louie's vet, Mabel's vet, and Dr. Amber is the vet who came over on a Sunday, wow, to help in the passing. And see, it's funny, you understand this. You think you're okay, and then all of a sudden, poof, it pops back up again. I want to tell our friends, he had several things wrong with him. It wasn't just the cancer. That was the topper to everything else.
Yeah.
9 years old, he had back problems, he was incontinent, I had to express his bladder, his spine was fusing, he had trouble at the end, he couldn't stand, he couldn't walk. But the cancer, tell me, what the cancer, how did that manifest itself?
So what we noticed with Louie, and the first thing you noticed was the changes to his eye, something called Horner syndrome, and he developed that because he had a mass that developed in his armpit.
And you didn't know what the mass was?
We didn't know right away, so we took a sample of it, and it came back as a type of cancer called histiocytic sarcoma.
Ooh.
And those are pretty aggressive types of cancers. We don't see it a lot, but we can see it more in Bernese and golden retrievers, and they tend to be fairly aggressive.
And then he had a couple other, you didn't even take a sample of that. He had one on his chest and then one on his neck that developed almost overnight. I mean, I thought I'd have months left. The decline was incredibly fast at the end.
It was a pretty rapid change for him, just in a matter of a couple weeks. And like we've talked about, because of the several factors we had going on with him, the arthritis and mobility changes, we felt challenged by the options to treat that. Oftentimes we're looking at things like aggressive surgery or radiation, and because of Louie's other health concerns, we had some tough decisions to make about what was the best option for him.
And his age. I mean,
he was mature for his breed, and we had almost 9 years with him, great 8.9 years with him.
I didn't ask you this before. I'll ask you this on camera. Did we do the right thing?
You did the right thing, and that's what's so hard to know is, where do you draw the line? When is enough? And I think that's good, like we've talked about, with your mature pet, having a good relationship with your doctor to be able to say, we know what our options are and we know what we can do, but what's best for Louie and what's best for you as that individual, and what are our options for everyone. And sometimes it does come down to financial obligations and how much you can ask them to go through, but sometimes it comes down to what's fair and what's best.
I didn't want him to be in any pain, and I saw that was
through.
He never complained, but I could tell that he wasn't happy. So
and his mind was there the whole time, and that's what made it challenging, is that his personality was still with us, but his body was giving out on us.
And I'll tell you, I'm crying now, but you were crying then too.
Yes.
So thank you for all you did.
My
See
pleasure.
your vet. Make sure you have someone you love and trust, because they become a part of the family. Now, having said that, you're going to be leaving us. Where are you going to go?
I'm moving just in about a week to Arizona to pursue training to be a veterinary surgeon. So I'll miss you and the Pet Pals team and everyone very much.
Okay, we'll miss you too. Well, I'm crying for you too. Okay. Thank you for all you did. You're my friend.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My honor to be your friend.
Did you hear that, Mabel? Did you hear that? Okay. We'll be back with more Pet Pals TV.
Plan your escape with Classic Escapes. Classic Escapes excels at creating personalized itineraries for you and your family. We take you off the beaten track to exciting locations around the world. Call us today, 800-627-1244. Classic Escapes, taking pride in creating the perfect travel package for you. Call 800-627-1244 or visit our website. Classic Escapes, nature and cultural journeys for the discerning traveler.
Wild thing, you make my heart sing. You make everything groovy. Wild thing.
Bring your wild things to see ours at the Indianapolis Zoo.
Wild thing, I think I love you.
Hello, Dad? It's been a long time.
Really sorry about that. I couldn't hear you over the phone, so I stopped using it.
How are you able to call me now?
It's this new phone.
Caption telephone service uses voice recognition technology to show captions of everything your caller says.
Before CapTel, I missed too much, including you.
Learn more at capteloffer.com.
I believe that home is where your pet is.
And that loving an animal means never giving up on them, never letting them go.
I believe that when you spay or neuter your pets, you help decrease the number of homeless animals.
Because every dog and cat deserves a place to call home.
I believe that I found my best friend at a shelter. And you can too.
We believe that together with Best Friends Animal Society,
We can bring about a time when there are no more homeless pets.
visit ambassadors.bestfriends.org.
All right, we're about to wrap up. All right, Mabel, there's a lot of responsibility now. It's all on you. Do you think you can handle it?
A big leash to fill, yes.
A big leash to... Well, Mabel has filled out quite a bit in the year that we've known her.
That's eating the cat food. That'll do it all the time, yes. She's a good girl. She's a good girl. We're always going to miss Louie. I know we'll always remember him. He was a good boy. With that, we're going to leave you with some pictures of Louie.
Pictures of Louie, and our thanks that you spent this time with us on Pet Pals TV.
Thank you. He loved you.
Perhaps you are the bright side of the moon, the melody of some unsung tune. You know, I don't care where you're going, no, no, as long as you take me with you. Hey. So why are we at war with one another? You know, having fun, it used to feel so much better. And now